Hi, boys and girls. It's great to be with you today. I hope that you had a great Thanksgiving. Look where I am. I'm here in our library and I'm not wearing a mask. Guess why? Because I'm here all alone. I don't need my mask. I'm here all alone. Yay! So, I thought I'd come here to our library today and I thought that I would read you a story. It's a nonfiction book. So it's not a story at all, but it kind of reads like a story. It's the story of the Emperor Penguin. So I thought I would read it to you, and this is all facts. Remember, nonfiction is facts, all a factual book. So I'm going to read this to you. It's called The Emperor's Egg, and it's by Martin Jenkins. It's illustrated by Jane Chapman. Jane Chapman illustrates lots of fun stories, but this is a nonfiction book, so we're going to see some real information about some real penguins, the Emperor's penguin. So let's see what this is all about. Here we go. Martin Jenkins put all of this information together and laid it out in a book for us, and it sort of reads like a nice little story, but it's all true facts. Okay, here we go. Ooh, he's good looking. Down at the very, whoops, let me scooch this over so you can see the whole book. How's that? Okay, that's better. Okay, good. Down at the very bottom of the world, there's a huge island that's almost completely covered in snow and ice. It's called Antarctica, and it's the coldest, windiest place on Earth. The weather's bad enough there in the summer, but in winter, it's really terrible. It's hard to imagine anything actually living there. But wait, what's that shape way over there? It can't be. Yes. Does look like a little penguin to me. It is a penguin. And it's not just any old penguin either. It's a male emperor penguin, the biggest penguin in the world. And he's doing a very important job. He's taking care of his egg. He didn't lay the egg by himself, of course. His mate laid the egg a few weeks ago, but very soon afterwards she turned around and she waddled off to the sea. That's where the female emperor penguins spend most of the winter, swimming about, getting as fat as they can, eating as much as they can, and generally having a very nice time, as far as you could tell. Which leaves the father penguin behind, stuck on the ice with his egg. Now, the most important thing about the egg sitting is to stop your egg from getting cold. Because inside of the egg, there's a little penguin chick, and the little penguin chick is starting to grow. If the egg gets cold, the chick will die. That means that it has to be kept off of the ice and out of the wind. And what better way to do that than to rest your feet, to rest the egg on your feet and to tuck it right up under your tummy, which is just what the father penguin does. So remember, the mama penguin, she's out swimming in the sea. She's eating and getting so fat, and she's doing that on purpose. And that's how he will stay for 2 whole months until his egg is ready to hatch. 2 whole months. That's about 60 days, boys and girls. 60 days, about. Can you imagine it? Standing around in the freezing cold with an egg on your feet for 2 whole months? While the female penguin is out to sea, eating and swimming and eating and swimming and getting fatter every day. What's more, there is nothing for the father penguin to eat on the land. And because he's egg sitting, he can't go off to the sea to feed. So that means 2 whole months with an egg on your feet and no dinner, no breakfast, no lunch, no snacks. I don't know about you, but I would be very, very miserable. Miserable, that's a good word. That means sad, really sad. Luckily, the penguins don't seem to mind too much. They have thick feathers and lots of fat under their skin to help keep them warm. And when it gets really cold and windy, they all snuggle up together and they shuffle over the ice in a great big huddle. Most of the time, the huddle trundles along very, very slowly. But sometimes when the penguins get to be a particularly slippery slope, guess what happens? Whoa, they slide down it on their tummies, pushing themselves along with their flippers, always remembering to take special care of their egg and trying hard not to bump into each other. Even though the males keep the egg tucked up under their tummies when they slide, sometimes that egg rolls out and sometimes that egg will break. And that's how the father penguin will spend his winter. Until one day, he will hear something so special. A little cheep, 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 cheep. His egg is starting to hatch. It takes a day or so, but finally the egg cracks wide open and out pops a little baby chick. Now the father penguin has two jobs to do. He has to keep that baby chick warm, and he also has to feed it. The chick is only about 6 inches tall at first. It's much too warm. It's much too small to keep warm all by itself. But what will Daddy feed the chick? The chick is too small to be taken out to sea to catch food, and it can't be left behind on the ice. Well, deep down in the father penguin's throat, there is a pouch where he makes something that is a little like milk, and that's what he feeds to his hungry little chick. The father penguin can make only enough of the milky stuff to feed his chick for a couple of weeks. But just as he is about to run out of the milky stuff, a dot appears on the horizon. The dot gets closer and closer and yes! Mama! It's Mom. She starts trumpeting, hello! And the father penguin starts trumpeting, hello! And the little chick whistles. The racket goes on for hours, and it really does sound as if they're extremely pleased to see each other. Every adult penguin has its own special call. It's somewhat like a fingerprint. The chicks have their own special little whistles, too. As soon as things calm down, the mother penguin becomes very sick, right into the chick's mouth. That means she regurgitates all the food, some of the food that she's been eating while she's been swimming in the deep blue sea. So she's sort of throwing up in her little chick's mouth. Yuck, you might think, but yum, the little chick thinks. The little chick gobbles it all down, and this is the way the mother feeds her baby. It's the mother's turn to take care of the baby chick now, while the father sets off to sea for a well-earned meal of his own. About time, too. The end. This is how penguin couples take care of their babies, right? So I hope that you like this story. You might want to check this out at your library, because I know our public libraries are open now. So you can certainly borrow books from the public library. Otherwise, I will see you soon. I'm going to bring this one down to Margaritaville, and you might want to borrow this one from our library, from me, when I see you again, okay? So I hope that you enjoyed the story, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.